What is going on in the real estate world today? You know, there's two different worlds, national and local. And how do they differ?
Oh, big time.
Today, Alan
And Betsy.
are going to tell you the difference between the national news and what's going on in our local real estate market. I look at a lot of things and everybody watches the news, you know, that's out there. Now, the news gets paid to create watchers because they sell advertising. And what sells watchers and what makes them watch? They make things and they try to rationalize things and they try to scare you and explode things up. So here's what's going on in the real estate world. Nationally, that median sales price is around 440,000. Okay, it's gone up a little bit, just barely year over year, less than 0.5%. I mean, very small, very small. But locally, here in Virginia Beach, we've got some good things. Our median sales price is $408,000, which is good. That means it's a little more affordable here than it is across the nation.
Yes.
And locally, year over year, we've gone up 2.6%. Right. So 2.6% compared to the national 0.03%, that's like 13 times what's going on in the nation. That means we still have a really strong market here.
Right. Yeah, I keep getting a lot of phone calls and people are scared because they're all watching the national news and they're like, oh my gosh, Betsy, what should we do? What should we do? Is it time to do this? You know, stop watching the national news. Come to your local expert.
You know, the one thing we watch all the time is what's the average days on market? Nationally, the average days on market has moved up to about 53 days. Now, that sounds terrible to us. It sounds terrible to a lot of people, but realistically, nationally, 53 days on market is where we were before COVID hit. That was the norm. That is a normal days on market across the nation. Now, there are absolutely pockets that are in trouble. I was talking on a mastermind Zoom call the other day with some friends of mine, and one was in Florida, and their average time on market is over 4 months, 120 plus days right now. So when you get to that point, it takes a while to sell some listings. But here locally, we're at 21 days on market. Last year at this time, we were at 18. So it's gone up a little bit, but you know what? 21 days is still a very short period of time.
And still a seller's market.
It is still a seller's market if it is priced right and the house is in good condition.
Yeah, this does not mean you can be putting those houses on the market as is, nothing done to them, and price your house at sky's the limit. Don't get us wrong here.
Now.
And by the way, if you're liking what we're saying, remember to subscribe here and love us.
And like us, because we love bringing information that you can use when you're making decisions in real estate. Now, here is a statistic nationally caught me off guard and caused me a little concern. Last year, we had first-time home buyers. First-time home buyers are the livelihood of our industry. They have to keep coming in. That's where it all starts, because they come in, they buy their first-time house. Those people move up, buy another house. We need that to drive it. Last year, we had 1.1 million first-time home buyers across the nation. That is a very small number. In fact, it is so small. When I looked at the research, the last time we had that few first-time home buyers was 1989, right after I got into the market, got my license. So, before Jesus was born, as Betsy says, long time ago, 36 years ago when I got my license. So that's amazing. When I saw 1.1, I was like, oh my gosh, started doing the research, 1989. Now, we still have 65% home ownership rate across the country, overall home ownership rate. The reason that is the boomers. And really we classify boomers into 3 different categories. You got the older boomers, the mid boomers, and the younger boomers. And when you look at that, the older...
He just does that so he can classify himself as a younger boomer.
I'm a younger boomer. I'm a boomer. I know. I missed it by 2 years. So I'm a boomer. But so what happens is, though, they are holding their houses longer. Well, guess what? That trickles down too. Primarily, they got rate locked in during COVID when the rates were in the 3 to 3.5% range, and they're holding on to those houses. 40% of the houses across the country that have 4-bedroom plus bedrooms in them are now empty nesters. So all of those houses are not available for the next generation to buy. So they're not moving out of theirs. So first-time home buyers aren't having homes to buy, and they're waiting longer in this picture. It's crazy what's going on out
Why
there.
we need 55 and up homes.
Now, compare that to locally. And locally, we actually have just over a 70% homeownership rate. Compared to 65% nationally, we're doing really good. We have a lot more homeowners here, percentage-wise, than the rest of the nation has. That is a great number, driven primarily because we have so much military that have VA loans that can get in with no money down, very little cost out of pocket. They can stay there. And what we talked about earlier, that 2 points, that we still have appreciation here, so they can still come in, be here 3 or 4 years, and still walk out and make money, be far better off than if they rented their house. So one last statistic, let's talk about it, is the age of the first-time home buyer. Now, I don't know how many of y'all have teenagers or college kids. We're one of those. We've got a daughter, Brianna, getting ready to go into her sophomore year. Now, when I grew up, you either at 18 or when you graduated college, you moved out. You were going to start your life, getting your job, moving on with life,
Heck yes.
moving forward. You
Got
couldn't
my first
wait.
apartment at 21.
Couldn't wait to do it. I went in the military, and at 18, 3 weeks after I graduated high school, I never moved back home, never lived back home. I was on my own from that day forward. Well, oh my gosh. Now, this does not mean when they're moving out, because the average age of a first-time home buyer is now 38 years old, the oldest it's ever been in history. Now, here's the reason. They may move out before 38, but they're not moving out till like 28, and then they're renting for 10 years, and the average first-time home buyer. Now, here in Virginia, it's a little lower. In fact, this was a good statistic. Previous year, 2023, it was 36. 2024, it was actually 35. It actually went down a year in Virginia, so that's a good trend. But take it from us. We've talked to our daughter. Now, our daughter, we thought, she'll graduate college, get a job, move on, get her career. Well, she has informed us. First, she informed us that she was going to stay home and live at home to save money till she was 25. But then
she said the other day, she says, probably 27, and y'all should be excited by that. And I'm like, excited? What? Excited? No.
She's making sure, because we're about to go into the moving process possibly here. And
Not possibly, we're definitely moving.
We're definitely moving, according to Betsy. We're starting the process. And so our daughter has informed us on what we need to be looking for so that she has room and has the right thing. There was a house up here at the north end at 42nd Street. It had an attached apartment. She really liked that one because it had a separate attached apartment.
Everything has got to be, I've got to have a bathtub. And I'm like, I'm not buying a house just for you, kid.
So it is crazy what's going on out there. And so when I looked at that national statistic, this is something. If you have a house that has a mother-in-law suite in it,
what we used to call it right now.
I tell you what, if you ever thought about selling it, now's the time, because it's not being used as a mother-in-law suite. It's being used as the kids are staying home after college suite.
100%.
You know what? I got to come up with a cool name for that.
100%.
We're going to call that
I'll think about
it. I'm going to get a name for that. We're going to call it something. So until next time, it's Alan
and Betsy.
Talk to you soon.